Here's a morning harvest. We have here the black bell peppers and black beauty bell peppers, and they look lovely. Some of them look a little bit burnt. You can see he's got a little bit of a burn there. That's okay. I think he's going to be good. These guys you might think are tomatoes, but they're not. They're mini baby bells. So there's mini baby red bell peppers. They're delicious, very pungent. This is a surprise mystery tomato that has been in my garden for 2 years. This year it's particularly prolific. It's not a cherry tomato like all the rest, and it's very good. I picked this one off. It's green. I'm gonna have to put him on the windowsill. Then over here we have chocolate cherries. Here we have more chocolate cherries. These are orange peruche down here, and some of my white onions. So, lots to do today in the kitchen with all this gorgeous bounty. Well, I did my morning harvest this morning. I washed it all up, and I decided I was gonna just right away make a dish. And so I found something on Williams-Sonoma called Pepperonata, which is a pepper, tomato, and onion dish, which is exactly what I have in this basket. Let's try it. The recipe calls for 1 large yellow onion, but I have 3 kind of smallish onions, so I'm going to use all 3 of my little onions. And then it also calls for 4 different kinds of peppers. And I have these peppers, I have the black beauty peppers, and I have my red peppers. Don't have any yellow peppers, and I'm okay with that. We're just gonna use what I have here. And then it calls for tomatoes, peeled, seeded, and chopped. So I've got lots of those. I'll probably use the big ones, and we'll get started. Okay, so I've got most of the peppers cut lengthwise, but you might want to see what's inside of a black beauty bell pepper. It's green, so they're probably going to taste a little bit like green peppers. And now it calls for 2 tablespoons of fresh basil, which I have in my garden, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to get the basil off of the stalk by using this little device. I've used this a couple times fairly successfully. So let's see. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you have a part of the stalk that is not that is very strong. So we'll cut off the first part because that's kind of weak. It's got to be something strong that you can pull through this little device. And then we're going to use probably, let's see, we'll use this one, I think. And you pull the basil through like this. Did you see what happened there? And then it all comes out. So I have the stalk left, and then all the basil leaves. I'm actually surprised at how good that worked. All right, we've got all of our fresh ingredients from the garden. The red and the black beauty bell peppers, the lovely white onions, the beautiful tomatoes, peeled and mostly seeded, and fresh basil with some garlic, not from the garden, unfortunately, salt, pepper, and olive oil. That's all it's gonna take. Let's get cooking. All right, I'm heating up the olive oil for the onions. I think we're going to saute the onions first, but I've got to get the oil warm. In go the onions. Adding the garlic. 1 minute. Now adding the peppers, all my gorgeous peppers. I've never really cooked with peppers from my garden, so I'm kind of excited about this. And these need to saute until they're brown, about 10 minutes. All right, in go the tomatoes. Select the stuff. All right, let's see. It's interesting that the peppers, when they are fully sauteed, are no longer black or purple. So this is supposed to go for about 20 minutes. I don't know about that. I'll keep a close watch. Okay, I think it's done. But you know what I did? I added a few of the yellow tomatoes for two reasons. First, I felt like that there wasn't quite enough tomato in it. There's a lot of pepper, but not quite enough tomato. So I added a few of tomatoes for that reason. And second, I just thought that the recipe expected me to have yellow peppers, which I didn't. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll add just a little bit of yellow tomato for color. So a few little yellow tomatoes, and then we'll do a taste test. The recipe also calls for salt and pepper, which I'm gonna do right now. But you know, it said freshly ground. And I thought, what the heck? I've got a mortar and pestle, I've got some peppercorns, let's try freshly ground. It's gonna be delish. All right, well, I have a little bit of onion, a little bit of tomato, and a little bit of pepper on the spoon. I'm gonna taste. Really like it. You know, it tastes like bell peppers, which is good. I don't love bell peppers, but they from the garden fresh. But part of what I tasted was one of the yellow tomatoes, which was very sweet, which I think is an unusual taste for this dish. So I would say successful pepperonata, straight from the garden.